Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan, the show where we plan for our future by recording our episode 8 minutes late than we normally do. I'm Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I am Dino the Genetic Marvel, and I'm 30 for the coming up on 14th time, so I'm good. I'm gonna fit in right perfectly. And of course, our famous one of the two, our guest is
your 30-year-old Gen Z.
It's Clayton. Happy birthday, by the way.
Hey, appreciate you.
You are a 30-year-old Gen Z. That is an accurate description, sir.
I'm an elder Z.
Yeah.
Well, an elder Z.
We're recording this like right before your roast. So if people are watching this or listening to this on Friday, go check out. It's going to be like accessible after the fact, right?
Yeah, it'll be just on there. Okay.
So,
I don't even plan to monetize it because I feel like we're gonna get hit with copyright infringement just on my jokes alone. So like it's just kind of a free up for all things. So
right,
I mean, it'll be entertaining.
Oh yeah,
you
can't change generations just because you've aged.
I mean.
Elder I know millennial.
Z is like a wizard or rapper name. That's definitely Cole's rapper name is Elder Z.
Yeah.
It's also my wizard name and my porn name.
Okay. Kyle, you don't get to chime in on what works and what doesn't, sir. Also, I'm going to talk about the conversation we had yesterday. Okay. So calm down, sir. Calm down.
And then for people listening to this who don't understand what even are we? This whole stupid little group with Hammered and Cheese and Generation Dan and Greatest Goddamn Show on there. Like, what are we?
Murderers in training.
We're like, well, my understanding is we're like a string frat.
No, okay. So
you know how, the thing.
Like, for example, it could happen here, Behind the Bastards, cool people who did cool stuff. That's all part of Cool Zone Media. That's like under that banner. What are we?
What are we?
Yeah.
Human, allegedly.
Okay.
We're soon to be gods.
You are a balanced food pyramid? Okay, Victor. I don't even know what that means.
You're a balanced food pyramid. I mean...
Dino, do you remember when we were young and the food pyramid was like...
11 grains,
11 servings of bread.
Like, 11. I mean, it led the way to Subway, so I'm not against it because they normalized eating an entire loaf of bread for one meal. So...
Oh, yeah. In the 90s where they were just like, if you eat Subway... you can become healthy. The pedophile thing's not related. Don't worry about that. But Subway.
That's it. Okay. Baby boomer here trying to figure the computer. I was 30. Oh, Jim, you're a hero because honestly, I look at the computer right now and I'm like, I will throw this shit right into the sky. I don't care with a cannon. Just
Jim, to his credit, shows up and watches the stream every week. So good to him.
I feel like if you try to learn anything new after 30, like you just shouldn't. Like it's just like just stick to what you know.
Which, by the way, that's the episode topic is plans for our 30s, and call this the sequel to last week where we talked about friendships in our 20s. So
also fair.
Stuff to make next week about 40s.
I'm here for it. No problem.
I have to find some mid to older Gen X's, and
John's like, yes, the very gods. Yeah. That's only reasonable.
Yeah.
John just did an illustration and put it on his TikTok, and it's him, but it's all like, woo! And he's holding a circle, but it definitely looks like a donut. And I'm like, you look like the god of donuts, and I'm here for it. He's like, I mean, god of something. And I'm like, I despair.
So the god of, is that like Donut Isis or something? Or
I mean, no, it just looked
Dionysus's brother.
It's like he gave mankind, like the gods provided certain things. John, as a god, provided the donut for all of mankind to live happily ever after. It's perfect.
Yeah. Kyle says I turn 40 next month. Kyle, you're a millennial too, so enjoy that.
I've destroyed 2 Macs at work before. I mean, that's fair. That's Victoria, and she's Asian, so it's
Dude, don't even get me started on that shit because my entire life, anytime I go to put like a credit card into a credit card swiper, the thing just crashes. I'm like, what is this? And
now it's like, okay. Have you ever put the credit card in and it says remove credit card and then you pull it out and it's like, no, you got to keep it in longer. Like, it said,
you told me to take it out, you son of a there's a certain, like, okay, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. It was quite a while ago where Bill Gates criticized car manufacturers about how like they should be able to travel 1,000 miles on like a thimble full of gasoline and and all these things.
I agree.
If they had advanced like computers had. And the response from a car manufacturer was, yes, but if they advanced like computers had, they would suddenly turn off just because you turned left down a certain street. They would just automatically speed up and then shut down in the middle of a highway for no real answer. And you're like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, actually.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well, I've had cars that do that, actually, but
bro, you have a car that does that.
No, my car's fine. Calm down. This is the best car I've ever had.
I mean, I'm not saying that's false. I'm just saying that's not a high bar as a qualifier. Yeah. Everyone watching, just so you know, at 5 p.m. today, we are going to be doing the roast of our guest. Multiple people are going to cry, I'm assuming. Some people are just going to be like, oh, I thought we were friends. I guess we're not. And they're just going to walk away from the whole thing. But it's fine. It's going to be good.
And for people on the West Coast,
roast in the chat as well. So,
yeah,
that'll be fun.
by all means, please feel free to roast in the chat. Yeah. I know there are a few people who are eager to tell Cole, well, what to shove up where the sun don't shine, and also maybe shine some sun on it. Either one.
I'm just saying, all three of us look like each other from an alternate universe, so this is going to be an easy roast, I think, for anybody. Like what someone says about Cole could reasonably apply to me.
We're all just different versions of Kyle.
I mean, we're all just different versions of Kyle. I mean, we're it's very peculiar, just because at the same time, it's kind of like I've never had this amount of friends that all resembled me in some weird kind of like, we're cousins, kind of. We're like distant cousins ish, but also we definitely have dug holes to bury bodies all together like a team. It's good. It's like, other people built the railway. We buried bodies en masse. It was great.
I'm just saying, I have a list full of band names, and if we're going to like call it some kind of media company or something,
we do need a name for sure.
Yeah. That like, because then for people who go, oh, Hammered and Cheese is made by blank and not just the person.
Right.
3 knobs and a foreskin. I mean, it's
too long. I think the funniest part is I don't know who the foreskin is.
Anteater for life, baby.
That's right. He's uncut. I forgot about that.
Original. Thank you very much. Except I'm missing gallbladder, but that's fine. I didn't need it.
Look, I'm missing my adenoids, and all you guys still have yours.
I'm the balls of this scenario because, like, you don't really know that I'm important until I'm not there. Like,
well,
like
he hangs way too low and is constantly in the way. Yeah, he's the balls of the operation.
I'm always in the way, but as soon as I'm gone, you're like, something's missing here.
Not just in the way, but on display. Definitely his balls.
Freezer Burn Entertainment, Lightning Crotch, Dorcas Hufford. Moose Meese.
Mildly like I don't know, family-ish friendly, because like I got my kid is on one of my shows. I'm trying to be somewhat like.
That's true. Maybe Freezer Burn.
I feel like that's like I want to be like a dad, but not like like you like New Balances, Dino, but
Yo-Yo's hit list.
You know what? Let's just call that out right now. The New Balances I have are collector's items and are like $400 a pair. I have multiple of the same.
Just because one person owns them does not make them a collector's item.
Isn't New Balance like the thing that like fascists wear or something? Like you see like right-wing weirdos wearing New Balances, or am I thinking of something else?
I think those are just old people.
Skechers.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. It is old people for sure.
Kyle likes Skechers, so that checks out. He's definitely he's definitely an oppressor.
Skechers. No. Skechers are school shooters.
That's right. Okay, all right.
Skechers also checks out.
Yeah.
Listen, if we had guns up here, Kyle would have been like, "Listen, forget about the school. I'm taking on everybody."
Okay, wait. Washington Post. Neo-Nazis have declared New Balance the official shoes. Fucking paywall. The official shoes of white people. This is a Washington Post article.
That's ridiculous. The fact that this is the wild part is that you guys are just coming into your 30s and you're like, I'm an adult. And like it's weird because I'm looking at it going, I remember being 30 and going, I'm an adult. I also remember becoming 18, 19, 20, 25.
Yeah.
And going, adult.
I'm an adult.
I'm 43 and I'm going, nope, still not there yet. Like I may be close, but also I am completely blinded to where I'm going. So, you know.
Where's this one? Like when I remember them saying, you know, your 30s are when your youth is over. But Dino, check the Generation Dan chat. One's the Washington Post article, but the other one that's
I've never had this amount of friends.
I've never had this before.
The Skechers joke definitely checks out now.
Yeah, Skechers is on point. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's I get that. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
I've never had this.
Hold on, let's see here. Let me get rid of
Winslow.
I'm getting rid of. That's exactly who I'm getting rid of. Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. You only had to use it once.
There it is. Enjoy your youth. After you're 30, you'll be old and your life will basically be over. Open the door. Wait, what?
And it's like all rainbows and shiny for people listening.
So this is the funny thing is that like, I think in your 20s, you're definitely told or given a bill of sale as to what you're supposed to be experiencing. And it's completely false. Like it's like, in a perfect world or like 40 years ago, it would check out. But now it's like, it's the Thunderdome. Who the hell knows what's happening, right? So when you hit your 30, the only thing is, and I'll tell you this thing, is that when you fuck up, people will just call you a fuck up. Whereas if even up to 29, people would be like, they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you're like, you have until you're 29 to do whatever the fuck you want. But as soon as you hit 30, like any sort of sympathy that people might have for a situation for you specifically is just gone, just in the wind.
Like pretty much. Like for all of your 20s, you can do opium in a DJ booth. Check out last week's episode for details on that. And people don't care. You can hang out with Hunter S. Thompson. That's another thing I learned about my dad, by the way. He was just there.
Yeah. Well,
the Johnny Depp character from Fear and Loathing?
Yeah.
No, that's a real person.
Yeah, he's a real writer.
No, I know he was a real person. I'm just... Yeah.
You're not a real person.
I know him.
Anyway, if you want to hear more about my dad's adventures in Aspen or otherwise, please leave a like, leave a comment, because he is interested in coming back and showing him all that love.
He loved talking about his story, and honestly, like some of the shit he was saying, and I'm like, bro, Atlas's dad was fucking cool.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
At the same time, he was like, oh yeah, you know, I had a BS in electrical engineering. You're like, the fuck? And he's like, yeah, so I wanted to learn how to ski. What? You're like, I don't know. He's like, and this was all before I wanted to go to med school because that was very pressured. I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm like, I had I was raised rich and I had good things happen to me, and this shit was wild. I'm like, bro, I missed out because like,
I think his only real weakness is he's not very good at like social cues too good, or like the emotional intelligence stuff. He can get by.
He doesn't have to. He can whip
out his
don't have to. I thought it was the bathroom. What are you gonna do?
He's a man. Like, get the pass, on that.
I guess. But anyway, so like you can do that for all of your 20s, but as soon as your 30s, it's the equivalent of like meeting a kindergartner who still wears diapers. You're like, oh, okay, well, that's a bummer.
I mean, like, it's like, let's put it this way: if you're 29 and you call and be like, I'm sorry, I forgot to pay this bill on time, and they'll be like, it's okay, just make sure you pay it today, it'll be fine. Once you're 30, they're like, well, there's going to be a fee, sir. You should know better. You should know better by now. And you're just like, well, it was an accident. And they're like, I'm sorry. You need to get your shit together, sir. Get your shit together. You're in your 30s. Sorry.
No, it's like it's a form of ageism, like of a certain, like the expectations you have of people. Like,
I'm good looking and I come off as dumb. I think I'm gonna keep trying to see what I can get away with.
I think as long as you listen, until you start getting gray hair like this, just keep on trying to say you're 29. Don't even
Yeah.
You're like, how old are you? You're like 29.
Dude, I got like 4 or 5 gray hairs up here now.
Yeah, but if you're wearing a hat, you'll be fine. Like, it's the same reason that women do the, like, how old are you? I'm 28, and they're like 37 or whatever. Yeah, just keep going until you can't.
Women just tell a 25-year-old from a 35-year-old woman. It's just there.
Yeah, or like you keep using your student ID from college to try and get discounts, and you graduated in like 2017. I'm still gonna keep doing that till they stop letting me.
Listen, as long as you can pull it off, like, just go for it. The worst they can say is no. See, the thing is, once I got into my 40s, there were like a series of events where I'm like, wait, I don't give a shit. I just don't like. And people are like, oh, but you should. And I'm like, says who? And they're like, society. I'm like, these fucks don't know anything. I'm not listening to those retards. And essentially now, like, look, I came to Cleveland for a show. I was the headliner. I was supposed to do 20 minutes.
Good. You showed up for that one. Good.
I did show up. However, did I though? Because I ended up hitting Marco's bong horn thing. No. And
I remember that bong horn.
I went up there and pretty much half the time I would just stop and just look at Mark and go, I fucking hate you, you prick. And he's like, what did I do? I'm like, you gave me drugs. You're a drug dealer, you dirty fucking Mexican. And people still laugh. So I'm like, listen, in my 30s, I would have been like, oh, I'm not gonna do any drugs until afterward. Whereas now I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna have a good time. Also, Cole definitely almost punched out the host, which I kind of wanted to see just because I think it'd be funny. At the same time, then Marco's like, it's like the two vaginas slapping each other, which I'm like,
I was a little bit. When Atlas came to town too. I gotta stop doing that.
Cole, I remember that. Cole looks like when he gets angry, it's like in the cartoons where the guy winds up his fist in like a circle.
100%, 100%. But it's like the wrong fist. He's like, You're like, what's happening there?
You guys.
No, it's very. It's hilarious because at the same time, I'm like, I look at both of them and I'm just like, I could smack the shit out of both of you at the same time.
No, because I feel like people don't like. They don't. I'm such like a hee-haw kind of personality that when I do get pissed off, it's surreal for people. They're like, this isn't happening, you know? Like,
well, they just assume they're like, oh, he had bad drugs for sure. That's where that came. He must be drunk. He must be drunk.
Because like he's got like the Scrappy Doo personality, but like when he's angry, it's like burning behind the eyes.
Yeah, you see like the vein in my forehead popping out and shit. Yeah. Like,
definitely. Well, then all of a sudden, like it isn't just your hair that's ginger, but your whole face goes red. And you're just like, look, he's turning into a leprechaun. Yeah. It's just immediately he's like, or like, Aura, I'm going to kick your ass.
Or like me when I drink, Dino, you saw me at my wedding where like I took drank one glass of wine and it was just like red, my entire face. Did you see it? Or
yeah.
That's how my face gets when I drink too.
Yeah.
Listen, at the same time, I was on like 400 milligrams of THC, so I'm just like, I walked up to your dad. I'm like, oh hi, I'm Dino, and I run the podcast with your brother or with your son. And he's like, sure, whatever. And I'm like, I gave you drugs, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, I skied in the 70s with Hunter S. Thompson. I don't give a fuck about it.
Now he's cooler with you. So
he did not listen. He came on the show. He did not remember seeing my face ever. And I'm just like, that's fine.
He's over 70 and has Parkinson's. Give the man a break.
That's a guy who skied in the 70s with Hunter S. Thompson. He does not give a fuck about anybody.
No, not at all.
Yeah. No.
And listen,
and during the wedding, all he cared about was his Dolphins game. He was barely paying attention to the wedding itself.
Which, absolutely, I get that. What's up, Titanium? How you doing? But yeah, that's it. Like, this is the one thing that, like, there's no plan that survives meeting the enemy, right? Like, that is one of the most true statements ever.
Was that Sun Tzu or was that?
It could have been Captain fucking Crunch. I don't know.
Oh, but Helmut von Moltke, the guy from the
doing good. Finally, hold on. Let me just Titanium. I finally am over my cold, so I'm going to be getting back to Lego and all sorts of shenanigans. But today we are interviewing Cole, and then afterward we're doing a roast show. So if you're still up, you're more than welcome to show up. Hunter unalived himself at 66. I mean,
no, it said he died in. He was born in 1937.
You can count each individual year on your fingers.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. That's 67.
What a long ass time to wait to unalive yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like he didn't want to see stuff. He was just like, I don't really like this place, but let's see what it has.
Yeah.
After 66, you're going, wow, I'm not going any further.
You almost made it already. Just finish it off, bro.
Yeah, you're right. Kyle was right. He did.
Yeah. I don't know. See,
just top it off. Just finish.
This is the thing: is every time you finish strong, if you like, everyone makes a plan for the next year and like the future and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, I've never seen any of that shit work. Like, and I've had plans like that have worked, and then I was like, I did not expect that to work. To be honest, like I was like, I'm planning for this. This would be best case. Sometimes it's worked. Sometimes it hasn't. It's not.
I spent most of my 20s trying to like make it in stand up, and then here I am at 30, and I have a job as a teacher, and then am married. Like I didn't really see myself getting married at all after seeing what my parents did, but I love this woman.
You ain't no player, Atlas. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
You're always gonna get married.
It's not in my nature. When we do your roast after this, I am going to have the worst time in my life. I do not do like extended roasts well. I can do a joke, but having to go person after person after person, and then you're
just gonna be mean for 10 minutes. Like,
I'm gonna like, once we're done and I have like 10 minutes before the show starts, I am going to go like pound a couple of drinks and come back.
Are you an angry drunk? Is that what it is? Like,
yes, I'm gonna have to do this drunk.
I have a feeling that Atlas is gonna cry like halfway through his set and be like, "I didn't want to be mean to you people.
I didn't mean to do that to you. I'm so sorry." And the funniest part is two of the people that are on the show I've never met before, and all of the information I had to like stalk their social media, which isn't great for roast material.
It wasn't the best, but
because like people put their best selves forward on social media. So what am I supposed to?
I don't
do about that. Like, this girl went down to the club a lot and had fun. That's it. That's the.
She was a waitress. Yeah. That's the truth. That's why she thought she was having fun. She was employed. That's all. It's fine. Listen, but that's it's gonna be entertaining as hell. Just because I feel like this is the one opportunity you have to really unburden yourself, right? And if anyone gets really mad, it's going to be even funnier because they're going to try and be mean when, like, listen, man, I've had this face my whole life. You can't be, and I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm still not in shape. I'm good. Like, this is not a concern. People are like, "You're fat." I'm like, "Yeah, I was fatter. Thanks, I appreciate it." Right, so.
I think is it like back to what Dino was saying about like having a plan for the next year and it never really going to plan is like my whole life has been like a Scooby-Doo episode where round shapes because like I have a plan and I try to execute it and it goes to shit. And then right when I think all is lost, it still somehow works out. No matter what the plan is, it never works out the way I want it to. But in the grand scheme of things, it worked out. It's sometimes in the way that I wanted to anyway. And I'm like, why all this? Why all this anticlimactic bullshit? God, if there is one, like.
Yeah, but there's the whole thing. Like, things happen for a reason, but sometimes that reason is you're a dumb idiot. Like
Scooby-Doo or Velma Cole. Do you mean the show Velma, Victoria?
No, Velma or Scooby-Doo from Scooby-Doo.
No, I'm saying
I'm Fred, right?
Okay.
The show Velma. There's a show Velma. I heard that thing.
Yeah, it's not
terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Yeah.
No, we're talking about Thelma with the big titties, the ass, and the glasses. She's like, I can't find shit. And you're putting
behind
have his glasses right on his dick. Be like, I found your glasses. Come get them. That's what
behind that baggy sweater lie the aspirations of many an introverted young man.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah,
that's only reasonable.
Yeah. So to answer Victoria's question, I think I'm Fred because like I have good intentions, generally speaking, and I'm pretty dumb. So, like
I could see you trying to pull off an ascot. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, and I try to tell everybody what to do, and nobody listens. Like,
yeah. And then I could also see him calling in an ass cod, like the fish.
Absolutely.
But we don't correct him because it's funny. Like,
but I'm not
the original
Fred. I'm Fred from What's New Scooby-Doo.
Okay, all right. I would say I'm
original.
Shaggy, but I don't think that fits. I'm not that much of a stoner.
No, well, listen, let's be honest. Look, everybody wants to be Shaggy or Scooby or Fred. Yeah. You're both Scrappy Doo. Let's be honest. For different reasons.
That's what I'm saying. I said Scrappy Doo about him earlier in the episode.
I know, and he's like, "I'm Fred." The fuck did you just say? You're Fred.
I'm probably Mystery Island. Scooby Doo, live action Scooby Doo, Scrappy Doo.
He has a lot of knowledge of Scooby Doo lore. This is interesting. Also,
Scooby Doo.
I guarantee you've said the phrase "let me out him" unironically.
You do have a Dragon Ball ascot. I mean, that is. Scrappy is an evil villain.
It's a scarf. It's a scarf. Calm down.
An ascot. It's an ascot.
Oh my god.
Oh, it is right now. It's missing.
Listen, anyway,
I'm wearing Dragon Ball right now, matter of fact.
I mean, that's fair. Listen, to go with your Dragon Ball ascot.
As a 30-year-old man on my birthday.
Well, listen,
so
you have
do you have a plan for your 30s, or do you have things you want to accomplish in your 30s, Cole?
To be laughing his ass off because my answer was
or he's choking. I swear to God, if you choke to death here, Dino, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's on humor.
Yeah.
Went down the wrong way.
Yeah, okay.
Also, it was made worse by this motherfucker was like, "I want to be on the show, and we're going to talk about plans for your 30s." And you're like, "What plans do you have?" And he's like, "Let me think about that. I haven't really considered." Goddamn point.
I just don't know how to articulate things. Okay, I do have a plan. With that said,
well, Shaggy,
I think my plan is just like to grow as a content creator and like develop more like develop family stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
Speaking of, Cole has outlined your plan for your 30s. Says Cole's plan for his 30s is 2 more kids with 3 different women. I mean, I think
I'm done with kids, bro. Like,
get snipped if you're done with kids.
I plan to at some point, but I don't know. Like, I've made myself pretty much unfuckable. So, like, that's the same thing. So,
yeah, because you get in bed with the woman and say, "Let me at him, let me at him."
No,
it's just my Twitter has just gotten too popular.
Oh, okay.
Or yes,
the whatever the antithesis of popular is.
Popularity is definitely the
infamous is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I'm getting camera ready for this, and I'm still gonna look like crap. Oh, that's hilarious. Listen, I think in your 30s, one of the
unfuckables.
The unfuckables. I mean, 2 of us are married, so that checks out. That's fine.
The other 2 are single. Yeah, like single.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work if not for the fact that like calling it a curse word is probably bad if you're gonna tell that to other people. Not that we're kid friendly very much, but
30 is when you start taking naps and not staying out late. I mean,
dude, I've been doing that
my
like
wife is
years
taking
ago.
a nap right now through that wall. Like
having been to Cole's house, he is a guy who likes a good nap. And is like, we could be home by 10, and then we'll order some food and we'll just watch some movies. It's great. And it's like, we go and do stuff. Yeah, it was very enjoyable. I had a great time, but at the same time, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Like from like age 8 up, like I'm done with all that chaos. Like.
Well, it's when people are like, "Let's go to a club," and you're like, "What? To do what? To have my eardrums busted and somebody try and feel me up? No thanks."
Yeah, my sister's in town, right? She came down for came up for my birthday. So her boyfriend's here, and they were like, "You want to go to the club?" I'm like, "No, not even remotely." And her boyfriend's older than me. I'm like, "Y'all are weird."
I take naps so I can stay out late. I stay out late so I take naps. It's all a circle.
I mean, that's also too like. There's a meme that's like, if you see a person in their 40s that's out late past 9, they definitely had an afternoon nap. And I was like, That's accurate. Like it's just
no, definitely. 100%. Like if I have, especially with my condition, I can't be fucking around with so much lack of sleep that like if I want to if I have a show that's out past 9, I will nap in the afternoon and then at my work during my conference period, I have like a little nap setup like George does under his desk, like for real. So they're like, you can be making copies, you can be lesson planning. I'm sleeping. That's what I'm
doing. That's how you really get the big bucks. Sleep after work. Just a little nap. Listen, it's a long drive home. Be careful. Yeah. It's it's one of the things where it's like you should try and learn as much as you can in your 20s, because when you hit your 30s, like like Jim was saying, it's a lot harder to learn new stuff in your 30s. Not impossible, but it takes twice as much time and so much more frustration, because young people are like, oh yeah, just figure it out. And you're like, there's no, just give me the steps and I'll follow the steps. If you don't give me the steps, I'm not going to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I went to Cole's place and I'm like, hey, can you show me how to do that? And he's like, yeah, you just do it. And I'm like, show me how to do it on my phone, you fuck. And he's like, oh, press this, press this, press this, press this. I'm like, thank you. Was that so hard? God. He's like, well, it wasn't that hard. I'm like, I know. That's why I wanted you to show me. You will start getting excited.
That's
also for sure.
That's every like young person and old person. Like that's every like relationship between like parents and children as the children become adults. You know what I mean? Like the parents like, can you come over and help me use the computer? And the son or the daughter's like, I showed you 3 weeks ago like how to do that. And the old person, the parents like, no, you didn't. Okay, gaslighter.
So some parents are just fuckheads. Let's start there. But also number 2, I always lean back on, remember, your parents had to watch you shit yourself for years on end before you figured it out. And even then, you didn't figure it out. You still had issues. So just help them fucking figure out how to, like my dad would be like, I want to write a letter and I want it in all caps. Like, Dad, you can't do that. That means screaming, I'm angry. You're like, no, you can't do that. That's not how that works. Nope, I'm doing it. And I'm like, all right. All caps. There you go. He's like, I don't know why they're not responding. I'm like, cause you're a jackass. That's why. And it's just
my sister, my brother-in-law, and my cousin, and me all take turns each week of the month being my mom's tech support.
That's fair.
So like you get week 1, you get week 2, and where you're just on call for her to be like, I don't know how this works, and like that's just the system we have in place.
You know what? So in actuality, I feel like that is a good business idea, is that it's tech support for old people, where it's like their children can pay a monthly fee and you're like, you know that your parents are going to be handled with kid gloves, very kind, very nice. And you're like, it's not a scam. Everything's so we can load up onto the screen and be like, okay, so this is how you're going to do it. And we have step-by-step processes on how to do things. Why do
your children have to pay for that? Fuck that.
Well, because it's the only chance that they have at actually giving something to their parents, because all of you are fucking poor at this point.
Yeah, that would be.
Why do we gotta give anything? They're the ones that fucked up the economy.
That's kind of interesting, where it's like a cleaning lady, like where you would hire a cleaning lady, but it's just like you hire somebody to
third-party tech support, so your children don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's not like you're calling generic tech support. It's specifically you're assigned to.
Yes, you have a person. You have Gerald. Okay.
Yeah.
His friends call him Gary.
No. This would easily be like a work from home, like side gig, where it's like I'm doing my main job, and I gotta help, Debbie with because she downloaded a virus again. All right, let's figure that out, and then you get your $40 and move on with your life. My stepson was my 18.
He's a firefighter now. I stop by the fire station, have him help me with my.
That's funny. Good job.
Okay, but listen, he's fighting fires, also fighting
That's one
security fires.
That's one thing I love about my dad. He was such a dork with so during last week's episode, please go check it out. He was talking about being a TV repairman because he has his BS in engineering. So like he was there for like early computing and was really interested and like had a Tandy 1000 in his house and was just doing it. So he was kind of watching computers as they were coming up. So he's not as tech deaf as most other boomers that I've met.
Yeah.
He's kind of bad with the smartphone stuff, but like that's honestly could be so much worse.
But also to remember, like there was I knew a few guys that worked for IBM and stuff like way back in the day, and they were like, bro, he goes, remember the idea that you could have Pac-Man on a disc was like unhinged madness, that you could fit this on like one day. You're like, that's wild. We are in the future, people. So the idea that you can have all the wealth of mankind's knowledge in the palm of your hand in the form of the Google, is absolutely insane.
It's pretty mind blowing. I BS a lot of things. I didn't know that was a credential. Oh, if only.
My parents' company was called BNS Manufacturing, and it stood for Bill and Sophia Manufacturing. We had hats, and I wore it to like my OAC law exam. Yeah. And she's just like, BS Manufacturing. A lot of that going on here because it was a law exam. We had to write an essay, and I was like, "That's my parents' company." And his face went white because I had a reputation like an.
Is it like an? It's an ampersand in the middle. Yeah. Okay, all right.
And because I had a reputation of being,
a stinker.
Let's call that's a good way of calling it. Yeah. And I said, "Oh, that's my parents' company," and he went, I didn't mean to insult you. I'm like, no, it's a funny joke. Yeah. And he was just like, I'm gonna go now. Like,
I just love that they didn't even try and make it like, for when someone else would run it instead of them, like when they retired or whatever. It's Bill and Sophia's, and that's it. And
well, it changed to Anthos Engineering much later.
Okay, all right, that makes more sense.
But like,
y'all are having like the craziest like nerd conversation right now. Like,
you shut the fuck up.
Whatever, no dad. Shut up, no dad. Okay, we have parents who love us. Shut the fuck up. Your fucking ginger head of hair.
I'm basically speaking Latin right now. Like,
yeah. So school is where you would go, and they would like give you information, and you would have to do courses and stuff. Like it was a whole thing.
I didn't have to do any of that at school. I don't know what you're talking about.
The father is supposed to be the guy who helps raise you.
The father. Fuck you.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you were hatched, sir. Okay. That's almost like one of those like from Aliens, like one of those eggs. It was a face hugger, and then like you just burst out of someone's stomach. Yeah, that definitely seems accurate. Yeah,
I'm the third coming.
You're the third coming. I mean, it's been a good birthday, I guess. So what are you gonna do? Do you still have a girlfriend, or what happened? How is that a thing? We'll replace the word dad with kidnapper. I mean, actively so.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like other men wanted me as their child so bad that they were willing to snatch me up and take me across state lines, multiple state lines. So I'm a pretty well sought after human being.
Seems like an in for a penny, in for a pound thing. Like you've already took them over.
You ever get kidnapped, Atlas? Don't act like people actually loved you. Your parents kept you because they had to. They legally were forced to by the government.
The law.
I was snatched up against the law. Somebody wanted me so bad they were willing to break federal crimes.
So they treated you like a football.
Y'all want to talk about? We had parents that loved us. Fuck you.
You just had random adults that loved you.
Look, for somebody who might as well have been a football, I think that's fine. Like,
also, let's be honest. Did they steal you because you had small hands, and did they give you up because they realized your hands weren't going to grow after that? What was the?
That was a chess move. I was being held for ransom, so that he didn't have to pay child support. Like,
I mean,
this is the crappiest episode of Game of Thrones I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's like the poverty version of Game of Thrones. Like it's just one village and there's no dragons, but they're like a guy with a stick who's like, "I'm a dragon, I'm a dragon." Like that's basically how it. Where priests fighting over you to be their altar boy.
No, that's the other thing.
Hey, not even religious, just some old dude, just like, I like that little one. Give me.
I want to go on record and change the narrative. Okay, not all kidnappings are dark and rapey. Okay, some of them are fun. So. You know, like
that might be the episode.
I'm taking it back. I'm taking kidnapping back.
The funniest part about this is that he was the victim of this kidnapping. Right?
I didn't even know I was kidnapped until my mom told me after she got me back. Like,
which, like, you know what? I feel like up until that point, you were like, I've heard about this. People go away for like the whole summer, and that shit's wild. I'm like living the dream, and you're like, no, you got kidnapped, dipshit. And you're just like, what? I thought I was rich for a fucking summer. I was like, I'm on my vacation home out in Florida, just chilling like a villain. Yeah.
When you find out that where I was taken was Florida, you're like, okay, this checks out. This is the most Florida thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's up there. Like the only next Florida thing was wrestling an alligator. Hey, Cole, you got a story about that?
That happened in Mississippi, right outside of the states of Louisiana. So
you were living that Florida life, not even in Florida, bro. That's totally fair.
I'm just Joe Dirt. That's what it comes down. I'm a real life Joe Dirt. That's what it comes down to.
Dierte. Pronounce it correctly, sir. I mean, listen, it's one of those things. Look, this is the advantage that you have is now you have the cognitive awareness to write your memoirs and actually get the stories right for the next 10 years. After that, you're just going to start forgetting shit. So
interesting. So if you're going to write your memoirs, do it in your 30s. Okay.
What?
Cool.
They kidnap you. What? They kidnap you, then go to Disneyland. If they take you to Universal Studios, it's a bad kid.
No, what's crazy is, okay, so I was 6 when that happened, right? Well, my mom got back together with them a year later. That was because this is their baby daddy, different siblings, not me, my dad. And then he took us to Disney World, back to the scene of the crime, pretty much.
That's so fucking funny.
Which is.
It was like I talk to my mom about this all the time, and she's one of those people that like tries to downplay like how dramatic things are, you know, like which is kind of also my personality too. But like, I'm like, Mom, like you perpetuated this, you know that, right? Like,
and she's like, I was a great mother. I don't know what you're talking about, and you're like. Do you remember those times you punched me in the face? She's like, I would never. And then she just clocks him. Pah, right in the face.
She'll say, oh, well, you deserved it. That's what she'll say.
Sure. But it only happened once. You're like one continuous series of beatings? Yeah, sure. That's fine.
I think that would be so funny if, like, I don't know.
You don't hear all this.
That's fine.
Disney cops can be paid off. Wow, Jim.
I mean...
But just like he goes to Disney World, he's like, "Hey, remember when we were here last time?" And you're like,
"Oh,
yeah." And he was like, "Well,
don't bring it up.
It's not that this time. It's like the fun kind. Let's go on Pirates of the Caribbean." You know,
I mean, let's go on that. It's a small world ride, and you're just like, "That's
that was so funny."
Questionable at best. But
have we started the roast? Unfortunately, no.
I mean, this is just an amuse bouche.
Kidnapping might get brought up, dude. I didn't really consider that.
The kidnapping is going to be brought up a lot.
This is the Hobbit to the roasts, Lord of the Rings. I think.
Yeah.
A
bunch of midgets riding pigs. It's fine. There's a cave, possibly a dragon.
This is the Rogue One before A New Hope.
Yeah. We're answering a lot of questions just so people after the roast, people go, "Is that really happened?" Like, go check out Generation Dan that went on before it, and you'll hear the real story.
I love it. Marketing.
I hear for myself when my students who have graduated find me. This is.
I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining.
Should be interesting. Like I've had a couple be like, "Mister, can we follow you on social media after you graduate?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're a person. Do whatever the hell you want." But oh Lord.
I mean, and you got to make sure that you mention them by name on here and be like, "This little shit," and just watch them go, "This motherfucker! I thought we were friends." Be like, "No, I fucking hate you." I feel like that's. I think one of the key things is like, as a teacher, you have to make sure you forget the ones that thought that you were friends with, and only remember ones that were really dog shit and make fun of them. Because that way, when they look back, they're like, "Oh yeah, I was really tight with that teacher," and you're like, "I have no recollection of who you are." Yeah. And they're like, "The fuck?"
You got to people like.
That's also true. That is, bro. He's done that. He was picking me up at the bus station. He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for my friend." I'm like, "Mother, it's me, you fuck." He's like, "Oh yeah, cool." What's up, Joey?
Well, okay. So I bring that up because the district is making the students do like this senior portfolio thing where they have to save work that they did over their high school career, get like a letter of rec from a teacher, write a personal statement. If you apply to like four-year universities, you can just take the things from there and stick it in the portfolio. But a lot of them, like there's a lot of kids who are either going to community college or going to trade school where that's not really as much of a thing. So a lot of them are freaking out. I've spent the last week doing letters of rec for a bunch of students. And then also they're having all of the teachers interview them as like job interview practice.
That's ridiculous.
As part of, I know it sucks, but I was
much, bro. Like,
I know, I agree. They have to do that on top of their schoolwork too.
Hey, that is 4 years of work being crammed into the last 6 months of your high school career.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Because it's a new program, the juniors and the seniors get hosed the hardest because they have to like cram all this stuff. The freshmen and sophomores are like, oh, okay, I can just do that now. And then by the time they're seniors, it all kind of falls into place.
Right.
What's the order? Freshman,
sophomore,
junior, and senior. Okay.
Yeah. And then sophomore, for those who don't know, means wise fool in Latin. Not sure why that they picked
Atlas, do you have to get a master's degree to keep teaching in California like they do in Ohio?
No.
You get a master's degree here?
Yeah, you need a bachelor's, and then you need a master's to teach college, at the least, though. But I teach high school. So
the best part about a career in demand is they immediately start cutting what you have to have.
Yeah,
they're at a point. So when I was in college, they were like every teacher had to have a master's, and they were upgrading it where they all needed doctorates. And they're like, "Fuck off! I'm not getting a doctorate to teach. I've been teaching here for 10 years already.
Yeah.
Just fuck off." And they're like, "No, you have to." They're like, "Okay, then I quit." I'm like, "No, you can't quit." Be like, "Then fuck off. Just don't be stupid."
They've reverted to all kids left behind. They repealed No Child Left Behind in 2011, and it's like some weird like zombie version of it that's around still.
The problem is, No Kid Left Behind wasn't, we're going to make sure all the kids learn. It was just pass them and make them someone else's problem.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking plan.
That's
you know what year I graduated in?
What?
2011.
I graduated in 2012. That tracks.
I graduated early. So
how is he this dumb if he graduated? Oh, that's why. No Child Left Behind. that stands. Okay. Yeah.
Pushed me ahead so far. They're like, just get him out of here. Like, who cares if he got another year? Like, just get him out. Just get him out early. Like,
not my problem. Just let him go. Yeah. Oh, you graduated. Congratulations. You're like, I did. You're like, no, but here's the paper anyway. You're like, that's a fucking, what the hell? How am I supposed to deal with life's problems? They're like, best of luck.
I was not thinking about life's problems. I was 17.
Yeah. You were thinking of how can I make this life worse?
My whole goal, I was like, I'm going to go to bed whenever I want, and I'm going to wake up whenever I want. And everybody was like, he's turning into a bum. Like,
school in the 90s was harder than school in the 2000s. Oh, I mean, yeah, you actually had to do school.
I don't know if I believe that, because the motherfuckers didn't have to go nowhere. They didn't have to be at school. Like,
Jim,
we actually have to go, or we get in trouble by the law. Like,
Jim, did you graduate from high school in 1980? Because that's a lot. I was born in 1980. That's why.
Dude, I just found out my kid's graduating class is 2034.
That sounds like
it sounds made up, right?
You know, like in the year 2034, flying cars. Like that's what it fucking sounds.
I was like, does not compute. Like,
Cole was not left.
In fact, he was taken, and his mom was not Liam Neeson.
I mean, that's basically how that works.
That's a good one.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want, but like.
Bro, I still have a Papal Encyclopedia. I literally took it from my mom's house, and like I have an Encyclopedia Britannica with the great books that I'm actually reading with Kyle right here. okay, that I read with Kyle on a weekly basis to do a show.
And what's the name of the show? Do you know?
The Life of Giants is the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius on Monday nights at 7-ish.
There you go.
Yeah, let's say that.
I remember I had to do, like, encyclopedias were getting phased out. We had to do a report with an encyclopedia as far up as like 5th grade, and then after that it quit being a thing.
So Jim, yeah, you graduated high school when I was the year I was born, bro. You blew my mind.
Funny. Yeah.
Literally, if you had a pager, they thought you sold drugs. I mean, if you had a pager, you did sell drugs. That's literally what happened.
Was Cole kidnapped or sold? Well,
the answer is yes.
Yeah, sold implied that someone wanted money for him. So I'm going to go with kidnapped.
I love how Joey's like, he went to Niagara Falls. He's like, I can see Kyle and Dino, which is like, we're both giants, so it's very likely, but also Canada is like 4 times bigger than the United States. You shut the fuck up, you bastard.
My mom wanted to tell you guys, I picked her up just a minute ago. That's her. She's screaming at it right now, but in the background. But I went and picked her up, and she had this box, and she's about to complain about it.
I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't even count.
What is busted? Okay. So she was like, be careful with that box. And I'm like, okay. She didn't tell me what was in it, so I didn't really take it seriously. And I dropped it, and it was the cake. So
I mean that
which is the Cole Claytonest thing ever, right?
That is how you start your 30s. Be like, oh yeah, so I had the cake and I threw it on the ground. That's basically
that is fuck right now.
Yeah. Jim is a boomer, therefore the problem. I mean, Jim's just riding on those coattails of financial success at little to no effort. That's the whole idea. That's the key to being a boomer.
Jim and my dad are the only boomers we've had on the show, I think.
Why don't y'all have
I'm a boomer in spirit, but
why don't y'all have more? This is a generational podcast, after all. It seems like y'all are just getting more and more millennials mostly.
Well, because you meet people usually your own age. Like it just happened to work out like that.
That's not my case.
Heck, what about Mary Kennedy? She's older.
She's Gen X. She
wants to be Gen X.
No, I'm pretty sure she is. Like Mary Kennedy and Paul
Dino, Dino, you know 1981 is a millennial, right?
Yeah, he's like right on the edge.
I've been wanting to break that to him. I don't think he's a Gen Xer. I think he's an elder millennial. Like,
you're the youngest of 5 siblings. And the way he looks at the world.
Yeah, it blends in. That's why I fall Gen Z more than I do millennial.
Exactly.
I'm the oldest. So.
You're also a degenerate, but yeah.
Right. I've brought this up on the show before that generations I think are more like a gradient than like the hard years.
Right.
The people you're around and the stuff you experience pulls you in one direction or another. Like if you have a lot of younger siblings like Cole does, you'd probably see more of your life through like Gen Z. Whereas me, I had older parents and an older sister. I got pulled further back into being a millennial. Ditto to Dino.
Joey, I have had many boomers on the show. You are a boomer, sir. Why? Tommy Chong was not in the list. Tommy Chong speaks and dust just appears.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tommy Chong is a silent generation. How old is he?
Boomers don't know how to use the
1938. Oh yeah, he's silent generation.
I mean, but that's
there silent generations left. I didn't know they were still alive.
There, a lot of them are in our government, unfortunately. Mitch McConnell, silent generation.
There's something about working in politics that preserves you. Have you noticed that?
Yes. Henry Kissinger wouldn't die till he was 100.
Not like your looks. It doesn't preserve. You definitely age still. It just keeps your blood pumping.
It's the monkey's paw, right? I want to live forever. It's like, but you will keep aging. You know.
Let's be honest. Being in politics, you just get access to healthcare. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Access to healthcare and stock trading tips. That's why you have AOC, who's like, I used to be a bartender. Now I'm worth $29 million. How did that happen when you only have a salary of $150,000?
This is like my age, dude.
Honestly, her OnlyFans must be banging. I'm just saying that's how she made $29 million. Okay. Joe Biden, silent generation.
There you go. Yeah.
He should shut the fuck up. That's why. No boomer is 80 years old yet.
They will be. We'll all be someday.
I mean, realistically.
It's coming for us all. The age dragon.
In fact, Donald Trump was the first baby boomer. I mean,
ever? I
don't think so.
I can see it.
I highly doubt it. He's still a baby himself. He's got those tiny little sausage fingers. He's like,
and he's like shitting himself in court.
Yeah, he always looks like he's wearing a diaper.
He definitely is wearing a diaper. They're expensive suits. I wouldn't want to shit on him either. That's fair. I get it.
Anyway,
this is Armani, bitch.
Generations do get softer as we go. Armani is not that fancy of a suit, so let's start there. But
I don't know.
Fucking poverty. Generations do get softer as we go. I will say that. I mean, listen, I've had people who are like, "Oh, you want to go?" And I'm like, "I'd love to," and they're like, "Oh, no, definitely not."
No, it's not even that. Like, I think that the thing that we're getting softer in is about like the depiction of sex, whereas, like Dino, like where we had almost unfettered access to porn, right? But by the time Zoomers were starting to come of age for that sort of thing, we had gotten control of the internet to the point where you can put like blocks in place. So like a lot of my Zoomer students, when I show them movies that have like more, not like it's full on like tits and ass or anything, but just implications of that, they get uncomfortable. They're like, I don't like
full P in the V. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Or like in The Shining where there's the naked lady for a couple seconds there, they were uncomfortable.
Yeah. I could like, I've been at a bar before where a bitch was just like, a hot chick was just like flashing her tits to everybody because she was drunk. And it didn't even faze me. I was just like, yeah. Because like we're just desensitized as a generation. You're right.
To porn. And then like they took the porn off Tumblr and all that stuff. And yeah.
That's okay. It's still on Twitter alive and well. It's fine. You get some of the best porn on Twitter. It's fine.
For sure.
And then you click on it and they're like, no, it's been taken down. I'm like, why? That was good. What the fuck? Respect the art, you sons of bitches.
Twitter is not a place for porn, if you ask me. I don't understand that. I never understood that.
Boomers were the first generation to introduce giving head. I believe that was those French girls, but go on. Depends. Undergarment is supporting most. It
had to have been World War II vets because of Normandy. They're like, they were rewarding Americans for saving them. Right?
No. They would French girls would do a lot for a little piece of chocolate. That's all. That's not even a joke. That's just historical fact. So I salute them for that. I mean, that's fine. This young generation is the first one that the older generation is like, I'm good. No fuchsia hair and nose rings for me. Oh, like, yeah, but that's the thing is, realistically, whenever somebody goes full crazy, there's always an overcorrection.
They date Cole.
Well, also, that is the sign of the times. Like,
sometimes have a baby.
Well, when they stand there and go, how much do you respect yourself? You're like, that's my ex-boyfriend. They're like, that little, wow. Wow.
They're like, we haven't even started the roast yet. Calm down.
I mean, it's just a story of your life, sir. It's just, I mean, that's the hilarious part was this past time. Yeah, no, I'm going to save that story for the roast. That's fine.
Okay.
But
do you think we should get going, fellas?
We should probably get going. Well, we started 8 minutes late because of somebody, so we should probably. All
right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Check out, follow Generation Dan in all those places. You can also check out the other podcast that we do on this same RSS feed called Last Minute History that Cole and I do. And where can they find you, Cole?
Snippy Blue 22 on all platforms. I do a show on Saturdays. I do a show on fucking Mondays. Now, definitely Tuesdays. Every Tuesday and every other Monday, every other Wednesday. I do all kinds of shit with these guys with me and one other guy who is in the chat right now, Kyle. So.
Also, too, just so everyone knows, Joey's labs from the VA came back and his liver function and A1C levels were normal, which means we have to suffer with his accompaniment for another little while longer. In 27 days, apparently. Remember there was that movie, 28 Days Later? So this is 27 days later. Joey's having a show. I'm supposed to be there. That is still being worked on, Joey.
Yeah.
So we will.
I'm saying move it back a month, and I can come join you, please. Like
Joey. It should be a fun show, but it's going to be. Check out Square Table Degenerates to check that out, though, everybody. Thank you, Jim, for your support, and also for triggering me with your I graduated when you were born, and I went, oh God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dino the Genetic Marvel as well. I am finally over my cold, so I'm going to start building Lego and doing all sorts of shit. We have Hammered and Cheese on Tuesdays, which we may be doing stuffed crust pizza this week. It's been quite crazy. But then
when are we going with that idea? Because I was totally thinking about that myself.
You sent it to me. You sent it to me, you fucking God damn it.
Because I was like, how did you come up with the same idea I did? That's why. That makes sense.
Anyways, also Mondays, just before they do their last minute history, we have Life of Giants, where we are talking about Marcus Aurelius. And Joey's complaining, you were on the fire, bro. You gotta let me know. Yeah, I'm working on it, sir. Atlas, we are going to Vegas when the Browns play the Raiders. Yeah, that's how that happened. You called bullshit. Taco Blizzard is also coming for Hammer and G. So make sure you subscribe to all our channels, everyone, and that will be all for us. And come back to any one of these channels in half hour or so, and we're going to be roasting the shit out of Cole. So
please. And just lightly each other.
Yep. Oh, and gonna cry. Oh, and at Atlas Novak and all the places. You know the deal. All right, cool. Bye,
all right.
everyone.
Bye.